No, I don't.
Might stab you there now. He had a bunch of names. He got ladies in Carboneer. He had a bunch. Yeah, I was gonna. I only found out like. That'd be us two table. You're on table number one. Jim? Table number how's the mother?
I know.
Do they? Warhol. Straight down here. I'll take you around this building. Right on the end in front. Yeah? Okay. Right on the last table in front of the
I've had the pleasure of chairing the organizing committee for this event, the graduation committee. And on behalf of that committee, we welcome you here tonight. A lot of planning went into tonight and all this week's activities. And for that, I would like to thank the members of the graduation committee. They are Ann James, Paul Roach, Jim Brown, Doug Smith, Kevin Joy, Suzanne Pinsent, Lori Reese, Linda West, Elizabeth Shepard, and two honorary members, Beth Knox and Donna Kennedy. And I think they did a great job, don't you? Yesterday, one of our events was a barbecue at Cujo's Pond Park, for which 120 people signed up. So we bought 600 hot dogs. So for those of you who didn't show up yesterday, guess what you're having for dinner? No, I'm just kidding. Dinner will be lovely. You know, it's not just the graduates tonight who are excited about being here. It's also the parents. And in fact, one parent in particular was so anxious that he showed up here on April 23rd. So Dad, you're on time tonight. We have some honored guests among us this evening. Dr. Rick Roskin, who's Dean of the Faculty of Business Administration, and Dr. Arthur May, President of the University. And we extend a welcome to you this evening, gentlemen. Stephen Percy and Jeff Williams, and they'll be up after dinner to entertain you, I hope. And right now, I'd like to ask you to stand for Grace by Neil Vivian.
On this very special occasion, we ask the Lord to bless us all. The business graduating class of 1991, our honorable guests, and all members of the business faculty and staff. Bless all our families, our friends, those present, and those who are not able to attend this memorable event. We thank you all for your guidance, your support, and understanding. Bless us, O Lord, and for these thy gifts, which we are about to receive. Make us truly thankful. Amen.
Announcements. We had a few newlyweds between when we finished exams and today. I'd like to mention those. Congratulations to Gary and Vicky Power and Derek and Nancy Rideout.
Well, like the good business students we are, well trained of course, I'd like to get some plugs in for our sponsors tonight. The flowers you see here before you are presented by Contemporary Florists, and the balloons outside donated by Thespians.
I must say, Jeff, it's a real honor to be chosen to MC tonight's event. I got to think back to 2 months ago when I was asked to MC another event that we held, the annual awards night. It's more of a beer bash type thing where we make fun of our fellow students. And I don't mean to blow my own horn, but from what they tell me, everything went pretty good, and I think that's why they asked me to come up and do tonight's event. But I really don't understand why they got you up here, right?
Well, to tell you the truth, Steve, I don't know what you do remember about awards night. But as the night progressed, Steve, you became more and more about, with the alcohol consumption. So they asked me to come along here tonight just to make sure you didn't get out of hand, and things stayed straight.
Well, let's get things going. I think I got the first one. We have a number of toasts. I predict it's going to be about an hour. So you people who are giving the speeches, you might want to keep that in mind. Our first scheduled speaker will be giving the toast to the parents. And I must say that they couldn't have picked a better person. As a matter of fact, I think she went through extra effort to get this honor. It seems she's the only student I know who actually took an extra course to prepare for this speech. I think it was called Maternity 101. So would you please welcome Elizabeth Pilgrim Loader.
Well, as Steve just said, I guess it's only fitting that I make the toast to the parents, because being a parent myself, I'm just starting to realize and understand the hard work and dedication required to raise a child, and I've only just begun. You have all done so much for us that we will never be able to repay you, but we hope that in some small way we can show you just how much we appreciate everything you have done for us. Each year of our lives have presented you with new challenges and required new skills of you, such as patience, love and understanding, and experience. You have been dedicated to raising us since infancy, when you tolerated those middle-of-the-night feedings, when you had to mop the kitchen floor 3 times a day to clean up what we dumped over the side of our high chairs, when you comforted us through teething, when you coaxed our first steps, and continually had to pick up a trail of toys behind us. And even though we were little nuisances, you were so proud of us that you constantly dressed us up to show us out and to get our pictures taken. Then came our preteen years, when we were constantly demanding rides to our friend's house, to piano lessons and to minor hockey, and you never let us down. For the job as parent had only would only get more difficult. Those teenage years were ahead, when we so desperately tried to become independent. During those years, we all caused a lot of worry and heartache for you. We thought we knew everything and could take care of ourselves. And we wondered just who you thought you were telling us what time we had to be home and who we could go out with. We were very stubborn, but we were the ripe old age of 14, totally mature adults. Boy, do we have a lot to learn. And I'm sure that our university years brought on new challenges. Some of you had to watch your children leave home. Well, that's still ahead for some more of you. We thank you for sending all those care packages and for accepting all those collect calls. And we said, I need more money. Or, Ma'am, I know I failed that exam. I just can't take this anymore. But somehow you always managed to calm us down and reassure us. And that money was always deposited into our account. And for those of us who are lucky enough to live home with our parents, we thank you for doing all those little things that seemed insignificant, but really weren't. Like our laundry, cooking our supper, loaning us the car with a full tank of gas, and for packing us a lunch every day, with our name even written on the bag. As parents, you have played many roles. You have taught us many lessons, from how to tie our shoes to instilling in us a set of values and morals. You have disciplined us when we have gotten out of line, and for some of us that was quite often. You have supported us both financially and emotionally. You have stood by and let us make our own mistakes when you knew we had to learn for ourselves. You've spent many sleepless nights worrying about us, and you loved us even when we didn't deserve your love and dedication. You've been our parents, our teachers, our mentors, and most importantly, our friends. I'm sure that you all find it hard to believe that your little babies are all grown up and university graduates. But we want you to know that we still need you, and you have a lot of lessons to teach us yet. You have taught us so much, and we wouldn't have gotten this far without your love, support, and encouragement. Even though we haven't always shown it, we want to let you know how much we love you. On this, our graduation night, we want to thank you, our parents, and to remember those who couldn't make it here tonight and those who are no longer with us. We only hope that we can be half the parents to our children that you have been to us. We love you. Thanks for everything. I'd like to ask all the graduates to stand with me now and toast our parents.
Very much, Elizabeth. I have some reservations about asking this gentleman to speak, as he has been known to jump into a topic and keep on going, sometimes not know when to stop. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Mr. Pat Farrell to propose a toast to our dedicated professors.
Running on me, Val told me, Pat, 5 minutes means 5 minutes. So I guess I'm going to have to try to stick to that, or Jeff is going to throw me off the stage. That's Steve, wherever you are, that's his real purpose here tonight. At any rate, in trying to come together or put this toast together, I haven't written anything actually. And I decided to ask a few of my friends and colleagues, since we all went through the same things with the professors and so on and the instructors, what I should do or what I should say. Well, I came up with various things and I heard a lot of different things, but when I sat down and thought about it, it seemed that people wanted me to give a roast instead of a toast. Well, I don't know. Like Steve said earlier, we did our roasting on our awards night, and that's the time and the place for that. Now, the time and the place here is to try to get a little bit sincere. The only thing, I've got my program here. I think Lynn Horsey is going to reply to this, and I think she's down there taking notes, so she'll probably attack me point by point when she gets her chance. Val, I didn't know it was going to be like this, and I think I should have gotten to go second, so I could have done the attacking point by point. But at any rate, all frivolous talk aside, it's been an interesting, and I'd say interesting, 4 years, 5 years at university, of course, but 4 years in that close relationship that we've had with our professors in the Faculty of Business. And like I say, I use the word close, and it certainly was close, because anybody that has to work as hard as we have, and with the dedication that each and every person, or each and every graduate in this room has shown, has to have been shown that dedication on the other side of the coin. Like each of everyone knows, there's always two sides to every coin, and the other side to the hard work and dedication put in by each and every student in this room tonight is the dedication put in by the professors that enabled us to get here. Elizabeth just gave a marvelous toast to the parents, and they, like she said, are vital. The professors are also a vital thing, or a vital link in the chain that brought us all here tonight. So I guess, Jeff, how many seconds have I got left? I'll end, or try to end without too much further ado, and ask not only the students, but each and every person in this room to raise their glass to the Faculty of Business and the 5 professors at Memorial University. Thank you very much.
Minutes and 33 seconds. As Pat mentioned, we're going to ask one of our professors to come up and respond to his toast. I've got to say that I met this professor very early in the Commerce program, and over the course of the semester we had a lot of fun with her, maybe a little too much fun, but she took it really well. And I could just picture in later terms when she went to pick up her class list and dreading looking for my name and knowing that it's going to be there. So I would like to ask Lynn Morsey to come up and respond to Pat's toast.
It's a pleasure to respond to such kind and interesting comments from Pat. Unfortunately, I never had the privilege of teaching Pat, so I'll reserve my judgment on his communications ability. We'll talk later, Pat. I thought that I would write a poem for this evening. Teaching communications, I thought that would be appropriate. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share my poem with you. From all of us, I say thank you for the words, the praise, and the fondness. It makes it harder to say adieu when we realize you really did like us. Quant labs, speeches, exams at night. We're glad the bad things weren't addressed. You know now we did it to make you bright, to prepare you for work and success. Proud we are of what you have done. We know you will all do well. It's great tonight to see everyone and to hear you say we are swell. Yes, in all honesty, you'll be missed. The quarters just don't look the same. Success, health, and happiness is our wish. And of course, financial gain. To the class of 91, we salute and cheer as we say our last fond goodbye. Don't forget us, Faculty of Business so dear, and most of all, contribute to our alumni. In all seriousness, though, I know that all the faculty join with me in wishing each and every one of you the best, and certainly good fortune as you start out in your careers. Thank you and good luck.
Our next speaker fits his role almost perfectly. It is fitting that he should be the one to toast the administration and general office staff, since he has pestered them continuously for the past 5 years he has been at the business faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Greg Pollock. Thank you very much, Jeff. We'll talk about that later. Well, I've been asked tonight to come up here and present a toast to the people who ensure that every semester when 200 anxious business students arrive at the Faculty of Business to learn and to gain knowledge, that there actually is something there to learn and to gain knowledge about. The Dean, Dr. Roskin, the Associate Deans, Drs. Tulip, Carter, and Barth, work to create and perpetuate an environment in which we as students are continually challenged to attain and to exceed our goals. They have proven their dedication to the success of the faculty and to its students. With that over as well, I would like to mention the staff of the General Office. Describing the myriad of things that these folks have done for us over the past semesters would surely catapult me over my allotted time. So I want to mention just one. They type our exams. I want every graduate to take a moment now and scan back over the years and think about all the exams you have written, all the late night studying and all the worrisome times. And remember the one where you just didn't think that you pulled it off. The one where you just didn't think you had done your best work. But then you heard the word in the hallway. There was an unnoticed typographical error in one of the 15-mark questions. And everyone is getting credit for it. Tonight when you're buying your rounds, graduates, I think maybe you should stop and think about who made those fortunate typographical errors. And while most of these people like to do their work behind the scenes and out of sight, that is not always the case. Right, Ethel? Officially, Ethel Fleming runs the General Office, though most of us in the know are quite aware of the fact that she does in fact run the faculty. Ethel would argue that point strenuously, I'm sure. On a more serious note, I would really like to extend our warmest appreciation from the class to the staff and the administration of the Faculty of Business. Their efforts to make sure that things get done and things get done properly have made our years in the faculty bearable, if not enjoyable, and I think mostly enjoyable. So you should please join me in raising your glasses to the administration and staff of the Faculty of Business Administration.
This is just smoking here. Moving along great. Our next toast is going to be to the graduates. And again, the choice that they came up with is perfect in my mind. He was voted Prof of the Year at our annual awards night. And also he seems to have attended almost every event now during grad week, or at least the ones that I've turned up to myself. Whenever I think of this guy, there's always one saying that comes to mind. I'm sure most of the students will remember it as well. I love you guys. So would you please put your hands together and welcome Dr. Matthias Chikana.
Thank you so much. I was giving a little bit longer because I'll be actually talking about the class. I guess they gave themselves a little bit more time. Looking across, all of you, for the past 2 to 3 weeks, I guess you have spent a lot of time in Florida, Mexico, etc., trying to catch up with my tan. I see that you've been working hard. Maybe another 2 weeks might have done. I feel very humble today because I guess once in a while you lose your power as a professor, which most of us usually hide behind in the classroom. But now you're out of my reach. I don't have that power anymore. However, I would like to just outline a few things that stand out for you guys for this particular class. Knowing that other people have been wrong before is therefore a tremendous task for me. One of Einstein's teachers wrote, and I quote in one of the reports, this man will never amount to anything. We all know what Albert Einstein has done, has achieved, including the Nobel Peace Prize for science there. A few pointers as you go out into the real world. I would like to emphasize the need for you guys to be focused. I hope you can really get focused. Back to the example of Einstein, he was very focused. Just a few things he did, he refused to even memorize his own telephone number. That was a waste of time. He bought the clothes, all the same clothes, because he didn't want to be bothered choosing which clothes to wear in the morning. And therefore, if you're going to procrastinate, please plan to do so. Education, I believe, is an ornament in time of prosperity and a shelter in time of trouble. So I hope that you're going out here really seriously taking this very strong instrument that the university, your professors, your parents really have prepared you for. I hope you don't allow yourselves to really become moving museums as you go out there. Some knowledge has been imparted to you, and we hope that you will take that and use it in the real world. I wish to highlight some of the achievements for this particular class, having given you those few remarks. Starting off with the ICBC, this class here has the highest number of placings in the top 3 in the past 12 years of this competition. And I think that's a very strong achievement. And again, this same class was the largest contingent ever to the national championship. Turning to yet another achievement, the Green Line National Investment Challenge. We placed 5th, this particular class, out of 751 teams across Canada. The Royal Bank paper writing competition, we haven't heard the results yet, but I can tell you that the professor who coordinates this, Dr. Alex Farsrook, informed me today that the initial weight looks good. It looks good that we will actually end up with several papers coming through. There again, I've learned to be careful. Dr. Farsrook is a guy who believes that Elvis Presley is still alive today. Finance Day, yet another achievement. For this class, it was the first. We saw the business community and financial community get heavily involved in that particular one. It was a tremendous success, including the Chicago Board of Trade that was represented. And then Business Day. I know that people have mixed feelings about those, but I know that in every little thing that happens, we have to see the beauty in that thing. And I want to point out one particular thing there. This was the case of Peter Mansbridge that was to speak here. CBC guy. The press was here, and when somehow somebody learned that he wasn't going to be here, word was out that he wasn't going to be here. And so we saw the press call leave. I was bothered by that, and I cornered one of the organizers in the corridor there, just outside, and I said, "What have you done?" They said, "Well, Mr. Mansbridge is not going to be here." And I said, "Well, we haven't taught you one thing. Here's your lesson right here in the corridor. Learn the lesson of constructive ambiguity. That is, if you know the result is negative, better be ambiguous in your answers. So rather than saying he's not going to be here, you're better off saying he will participate. We just don't know which form he will do that. He might be here, he might do it by telephone as we did it, but you better use the principle of constructive ambiguity, and I hope you take that with you in the workplace. Christopher Columbus did exactly the same. He believed that the world was round, but the rest of his crew didn't. They thought it was flat. So he kept 2 logs of the expedition of 1492. One where he kept the true distances, and the other one where he kept 1/4 of the distances traveled each day. The rest of the crew believed that if they go too far, they might just fall off the end of the earth somewhere. So he played around with constructive ambiguity. High Point, the Governor General's Award that one of you in this class, and I believe this is a credit to the whole class, has really received or is going to receive this particular year. That's, for those of you that are not too familiar with it, is awarded to the undergrad in this particular case with the highest GPA in the entire university. I believe that is a very strong achievement. And I am fully aware that the members of the administration in this crowd here today, I believe that if you left it to me, probably I could change a little bit of the rules. I believe that an 80 from the business school is more than an 80 in other parts of, shall I say, the university or lesser known university like Western Ontario and University of Toronto. So you guys, if we change that a little bit to kind of flex it up, a little bit of a premium, I believe that that Governor General's Award would reside in the business school forever here. One thing that is also standing out for this particular class is the way in which you have all worked together. You came together. We can go back several years when we all started together, and you have really worked as a group. In other classes, we have seen several groups, maybe 15, 20. In this one, we have tended to see very few, 5 at most, larger groups, and we do appreciate that. Also, the other thing standing out very